It's a World Sports Betting Morning Betting Show. Very good day to you. Thanks very much for joining us. Just gone 7 o'clock and we're here with the regular crew, but no Liam Delcom, unfortunately. He's at Lord's enjoying South Africa getting a carrot and the end of day 2 of that first test. But Dom will be here for the duration of the show. Gary's back. Terry and Rod have been up to no good on my right already this morning. But let's welcome everybody. We'll start off with Dom. Dom, good morning. How was your Durban July?
It was lovely. It's we caught the quartet in the July.
Yes.
Both of them. There was because of the dead heat for 4th place. But it was unbelievable racing. It was a huge success all round, and well done to all concerned. Gold Circle, Pumelela, and well done to Teletrack. Well done to Rob Scott for putting on such a great production.
Yes. Well, I think the director of Teletrack needs a bit of praise. Punters had a good day, didn't they?
They had a great day. For a change, they all won money, I think. And it shows in the pools that came up the following week. The pools were phenomenal, and everyone enjoyed it. And it was, like I said, a huge day of racing, great racing, and we saw Marion Naresca, unbelievable win.
Yeah, World Sports Betting have pulled a lot of their sponsorship off this show now because they can't afford to pay everybody. So we've lost a few of the cameramen, but one person we haven't lost is Gary Lenton, who's back from Europe. Sewerage system in Italy, okay?
Yeah, no, I had a great time, and it's good to be back. I must admit, thank you very much, you know. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, now that you mention it, right, so I did get a small case of the trots just before the July.
2 bob bits.
What's that?
2 bob bits.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it had anything to do with the food or the fact that I was listening to you commentate while
That may have done it,
That
yeah.
may have done it easily. But I just want to add to that, and I said it offline earlier,
Yes.
off air. I watched most of the July meeting on teletrack.com.
Bar the July.
You know, bar the July because I had a little bit of an accident. I was in the pool. I thought I could let go an apple tart, turned into a tom tit, and I had to get up 9 flights of stairs in an emergency situation, and I couldn't get a signal in the toilet. So that was a little bit disappointing, you know what I mean? But I did watch the race later, which you can do on teletrack.com as well.
Good
You know?
product, isn't it, Gary? Great
Brilliant,
show.
absolutely brilliant. The only thing that surprised me is that when I listened to it on the phone, it appeared to be so much closer than it really was. I thought that the horse won well, and I thought it won easily, and it's not. I haven't seen acceleration between the 300 and the 1 furlong like that for a long, long time, you know, and all credit goes to the connections there. But, no, I thought it was a great day watching the racing and everything. And it's amazing that you can just watch South African racing all around the world.
In Italy?
In Italy.
Except when you're on the
Brilliant,
toilet,
you know.
on the
I've got
throne.
pictures of me lying at the pool watching some of the racing, you know.
Please don't
On the
share
throne.
that with
Your
us.
Bonnie Fair's come well in the last 2 weeks.
Hasn't
Have you felt it? Feel it?
Oh, my God, do I have to? Shit.
Great, eh?
No, it's great. No, you can have a full head of hair, more than most of us by the end of the month, you know.
Oh, you're not doing too badly for your 80s.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. What do you think of Ryan Munger as a jockey, Terry?
I think he's outstanding. Absolutely brilliant. And funny enough, I watched him all day after that.
Yeah.
No, and he rode another winner, didn't he? After that,
Yeah, you rode 3 on the day.
Did he rode
Another
two?
one.
must have missed
Did he
one.
tip you one? What
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Did I miss
You only
something?
need one a day, and
He's come out last week and said to us the one in the first, which was called.
yes,
Vijay
Come
lad.
on, you backed it.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I haven't got a clue now.
Right. So that was taking on Joey Soma's horse, who was odds on.
Yes.
And he's come out and said he's ridden this at work. It should be actually be in Durban. It's that good. So we've all climbed on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was brilliant, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The first-
You made rockets.
I did.
Do you still give a chop to the guy who wrote it or not?
No.
When was the last time? You put a lot in.
Yeah.
When do you ever
Don't
take
you
I was
start-
going to say, last week when you took your wallets out after the show,
Yeah.
everyone, the crew, just said, is that what Terry's wallet looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you just keep the secret things very secret. And by the way, you know, are you going to pay up or what?
Well, I've got a briefcase in my car for you.
That's
Hasn't he
okay
given
then.
you the cash yet?
Yeah.
It's a week ago.
It is Teletrack. Nobody pays, you know that.
It'll be the last time you're on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rod, you had fun in the tents. World Sports Betting put up a great July day in Jersey, didn't they?
They did. Rano was there. He was in the room. We're in the Aquanaut room.
Reno or Rano?
Rhino.
Who?
Rhino.
Rano. He was there, and the girls were running on the track, and we had lots of stuff. And room was full. Yeah, all the rooms at Turfentine were full. Fantastic crowd. And even when you looked over the balcony, plenty of people around. You couldn't to go and get a bet on. You had to go like 25 minutes, which was great. But there were so many people there.
Surely those that enjoyed it should keep going back there. It doesn't have to just be huge racing to have fun racing, right?
No,
if you had fun
exactly.
at the course, go back today, go back next week, do whatever you have to do, right?
Yeah, but for the first time in a long time, we got that July feeling again. You know, it's the coverage and everything else that went with it. The people, the punters and everyone else enjoyed it, and the new guys that went to the races. We got that old July feeling back, and I think which is very important.
No, the people on course really enjoyed it. They were dressed up. They made an effort. We had a competition in the room, the best dressed.
Did you win?
No, but I got we got a bit of credit. No,
Did you win then?
I had a suit. I had a suit on.
And those, I bet you had those on as well. No. You haven't took those off. I'm not.
You go to sleep in those.
I'll tell you, I'm not getting anywhere near when he takes them off. I'm telling you now.
No, they're right. They're comfortable,
I
Terry.
can hear all the juice in it already.
Well, get yourself up to Techie Town and go and buy a
Who's
pair.
that geezer?
Oh, do you call him
The
geezer?
boss. What's
Don't
his
you?
name?
You know.
Bill? What's his name?
Help him out.
Who?
Brahm.
Bro, I knew it began with a B.
You got no chance of getting shoes there, then I promise.
But anyway, it was a great day out there. Really enjoyed it. You were commentating. I mean, it was a good crowd, wasn't
No,
it?
brilliant. I remember looking over the commentary box, looking down the ground level after about race 5. Lots of people, World Sportsmen did a fine job. And the race for charity, I saw a lot of people get almost ringside.
What race was that? With the women, the girls?
Yeah, with the girls.
So I sponsored their socks, and most of them ran barefoot.
So you got your value. Well done.
I saw the picture there, they were barefoot. I bought them all shoes, and they ran barefoot.
Oh.
Where did you get your shoes from? That's
These came from the Adidas shop on Oxford Street in London.
great material.
Great, these are brilliant. I saw there's a brand out in shoes now. I know we're a sports betting show, right? I think it's called Yeezys. Yeezy. It's owned, I think, by one of the rappers.
ZZ Top.
No. 50 Cent.
He wasn't,
not 50
he wasn't a
Cent.
rapper.
It might be Kane with whatever it is, right? So when they launched them, they only launch them twice or 3 times a year. And people order online, and then they go and collect them from the store. And sometimes the stores get some, and they queue up for 3, 4, 5 miles for these shoes. And they range
5 miles.
I promise you now, they range. They range
queue,
from.
isn't it?
Listen to this. They range from 200 pounds to 33,000 pounds.
What?
Yeezys.
3,000?
You go look up Yeezys, and this was the closest thing I could find to them. My nephew told me about them. I thought
You
I'd
got
get
a
a pair.
second-hand pair.
No, these aren't Yeezys. They thought I was mad when I arrived there. I said, I'll take a pair of Yeezys. The guy said, they'll be available in February 2019. I said, right, I'll take those white ones there, matey.
But it looks like Terry and I are the only ones with
Yeah.
250 pair of shoes, and
Yeah.
we can't afford them.
Straightforward.
Terry.
Never mind his 50-cent pair of socks.
Good socks, these, mate.
Okay, well, there's a lot of sports to talk about, but the first thing I actually want to get into is Wimbledon. We're about halfway through. There's some more third-round action today, and I'm sure punters have their opinion. But there has been a bit of controversy at Wimbledon. A certain Australian got knocked out a couple of days ago, and he came up with one of the most bizarre interviews of all time. And we're going to get the opinions of a few of the panellists after we just get a little bit of information as to what happened with Bernard Tomic.
I wasn't mentally and physically there with my mental state to perform, and I don't know why, but I felt a little bit bored out there. So, to be completely honest with you, so I tried at the end and stuff. He managed to win that set 6-3 or 6-4, but it was too late.
You thought he'd give him the money back?
Which money?
Prize money, turning up.
Well, if you asked Federer to give back $500 million, would he do that or not?
Or you were just saying you were bored out there?
Well, we all work for money. At 34, maybe I can donate to charity, but if you ask Roger if he'll do it, I'll do it.
So would you donate it to charity?
Well, if Roger and Novak, these guys do it, I will, no problem.
So have you ever felt like that before in a game?
Many times in my career, and I'm sure you guys know that.
Terry, what is it with Australian sportsmen?
I've absolutely no idea. I mean, how can you be bored doing your job? I mean, but it's typical. I don't know when he was sent over, but Rod, when do you think he went over?
What's his name?
Bernard Tomic.
Tomic's an
He's not a
Australian
bad
name.
player, I can tell you that now.
But to be fair, if you're going to come out and do that in professional sport, and he got how much? How much cash?
65,000
Australian dollars or pounds?
pounds.
Pounds. Okay, you could retire in South Africa on that.
Yeah,
So,
easily.
that's poor. And I think that's any sportsman who goes on television and said he's bored and whatever. Well, you know what? Why invite him back? Surely when he goes on the court next time, they're going to boo him. Or I wouldn't even pay a rand to go and watch him.
But what
You know?
is it with, what is it with
Exactly.
Yeah, but what is it with Australian sportsmen? I mean, your cricketers aren't playing; they're not coming here now.
They refused to come here as well.
And now England have just sent and said, "Hey, there's no Ashes this year. That's it."
Have they?
Well, they said if the players aren't in agreement, we're not coming.
So why are you blaming the Australians?
Well, because what are you on about? Well, who else are you going to blame? The English?
Hey, every time Australia have helped Australian world cricketers, Kerry Packer got the money for everybody in the world, right? But your bloke was involved there, And your bloke was involved.
Tony Green?
Jewel, yeah.
Well, sure.
Exactly. But you claimed him, didn't you?
I think we did in the end,
So
unfortunately.
I think every time there's been a big pay rise, Australians have been involved, because this is good for world cricket, because if it happens there, the other players are going to jump on the bandwagon and say, I mean, they've been doing this for 20 years where they get a bit of the profit share and they get the money up front and
whatever's
whatever.
taken in, they get a profit from, don't they?
Yeah, they get a profit share, yeah. And what
they want to take it away now.
Yeah, they have taken away. From the end of June, they're unemployed.
They've got no contract
So
now.
there's 300,
300, something like that.
Yeah, unemployed.
Yeah.
And they're saying, you know what, guys, we've got families, we got this, and without the players, there's no show. No one's going to go. MCG's a nice place to visit. We went there, wasn't it?
What type of noise, what does it sound like when you get to the MCG?
It's like I don't know, well, Terry was there, he farted or something, it was quite loud.
Couldn't find it.
Remember that?
But what does it sound like when you walk out there?
It's I tell you what, I was lucky enough to play...
you can't do any sound effects for us, can you?
I can. I'm building up. I'm getting excited talking about it. But I remember one game, we played the West Indies, and it was a massive game. We had to win to stay in the triangle final. And there was 87,000 people there, and to walk out there, and as you walk out, it's just like it just takes off, like a helicopter.
I heard that noise earlier upstairs.
Yeah, I know, I told you the story yesterday.
Yeah. No, I mean this morning.
Oh,
yeah,
that was
you know what that was.
That was scary. You still got that tummy from Italy. Yeah. But no, it's a great feeling. And when you walk out and play for your country in that sort of atmosphere, it just gives you, I promise you, and you know that all your family, all your schoolmates, everybody's there, and you just can't explain it to people.
Lost.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we got beat. But hey, your stiff got beat with 2 balls. Eh?
Well, I played in front of 120,000. If there's one team you can't get beat by, that was Scotland.
Oh, don't tell me you'd lost to them.
And we'd lost to up there, 120,000.
But you were away though, right?
We were up there, yeah.
Were you invited back?
Well,
to England?
In those days, we just got on the first train out. That's the best thing.
Train? Did you go by train in those
Yeah,
days?
we did, yeah.
It still does.
To where? To Scotland.
Anywhere you want to go.
Anywhere
You've got a pensioner's pass now, haven't you?
But no, you have to get out. The best thing that comes out of Scotland is the road and the train.
Really? Only good thing.
Yeah, only good thing, mate.
Pay rise is important though, isn't it, Dom? I mean, you kind of expect one every year, don't you?
No, of course. Without that, where are we going?
Yes, correct.
I'm not getting involved in this.
Okay, well, you are going to give a few opinions about racing as well. We've got 2 races from Flemington that we need to take, and there are a number of specials that, of course, World Sports Betting do offer. But before we get into racing, we're going to talk about rugby. Dom, what do you know about rugby?
Absolutely nothing.
Do you have a favourite team?
Yeah, the Lions.
Which Lions? The British Lions or the Golden Lions?
The Golden Lions.
Oh, where are they based?
Like I said, I don't know a thing about it. I know as much about rugby as Teddy knows about horses.
Oh, whoa! And who went? All of you went for the All Blacks last week, yes?
Did they?
Everyone.
Yeah, but didn't know Sonny Bill's going to be sent off in the 25th minute.
Hey, when I say that, I said 10 men. They were saying, don't make excuses.
10 men, wrong sport.
10 men when England, when the footballers get sent off. I always come back and say, I didn't know we were going to get sent off.
That photo makes us look about 10 years younger.
Yeah,
it's a great photo, but here's the new special that World Sports Betting are offering.
Who's that on the left?
Gary and Dom's Rugby and Racing Mixer. Bet Gary and Dom's Rugby and Racing Mixer today and get an additional 20% of your winnings as free bets if your bet wins. So the pressure's on these boys, Dom and... Do you have eyes on that? Is that after your eye operation?
I don't know where that picture's from. Must have been recent.
it was
He was
you.
wearing the WSB shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, so it must have been recent. I just want to say one thing about Liam, because we're talking about rugby. He gave me a tip about a club in London. What a jaw. Place called the Piano Bar in Kensington Street, High Street, Kensington. I went there my first night in London. One of the best piano bars ever. Anybody that goes to London needs to go there. What's that?
Was there any music?
No. But no, brilliant. And it was after Ascot, so all the guys that won money at Ascot were piling in there. It was brilliant, Brilliant. No, I loved it. But yeah, so there you go. I mean, I'm confident with my rugby selection. How are you with your horse?
No, top class.
I saw third favourites. Big value there today,
Big
right?
value, yeah. It was 41 the last time I saw them. I think it shortened a little bit. I think you got on before when I gave you the selection yesterday.
Exactly. I send the selection, Dom sends it, I back it, and then we go and distribute it.
Okay, well, let's start off with rugby. We've got the third and final test between the British and Irish Lions and New Zealand. Is this the game that you're confident on, Gary?
This is not, no, my best bet with Dom wasn't this game. This game I have put on one of my best bets.
Yes.
But I don't think you can be totally confident about this game either way. I have given a selection here and I have gone for the All Blacks. And I am, but to be perfectly honest, I'm a big All Black fan and I hope they win and a lot of people don't. But It's not going to be as easy as everybody thinks. I promise you now. Things can go wrong for them.
I checked the price yesterday and it was 12.5, so that's come in a little bit since then.
Yeah, well, I mean, the truth is there are a few critical issues there. One, the weather. We saw there's a big difference between the first test and the second test.
What's the weather this week, Gary?
Massive thunder shower coming.
No.
It's not going to rain throughout the game, but they're predicting a thunder shower around about this time. Then now they've got a Northern Hemisphere referee. That will definitely help the Lions, you know. So they've got a few things in their favour, the Lions. I think if I look at the selection of the two sides, I think he's made a big mistake, Gatlin, in playing that English prop, Vunipola.
Yeah.
I think he gives away too many penalties. I don't think he's as good as Gatlin thinks he is, and that might cost the English because their discipline's going to have to be spot on.
Shocking
for
last
them.
week.
Exactly.
Shocking.
It's got to have to, if it's a little bit off, they'll get beaten. And I think, you know, the All Blacks have gone for a very attacking side. I mean, if you look at the stats, the Lions have scored 4 tries to the All Blacks 3 tries in the 2 games so far, you know, which nobody thought would happen, you know.
Yeah.
So the All Blacks need to step up today, but... You know, we mocked Australia cricket earlier. Let's be honest, Australia own cricket, you know what I mean? They've been the best side in the world forever. That's the truth with rugby. The All Blacks set the mark.
Can you see the All Blacks losing 2 on the trot?
Hasn't happened in New Zealand since 1998, which is a long time, you know.
Yeah.
But
Never lost at Eden Park ever.
ever, well, nearly ever. Certainly in, yes. But
What?
they could, no, they haven't lost 2 in a row at Eden Park forever. They've lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
They've never lost atEden Park.
No, they have.
Have they?
Yes, of course they have.
Oh.
Lost for 40 or
Of course
50
they
years.
do. Everybody knows
Yeah, but I'm not
that.
only doing when South Africa come back to draw the line.
Probably. But,
Yeah.
Good save.
Can I ask you a
thank you.
question?
Certainly.
You know nothing about rugby.
Yes.
So, when you say this massive thunder showers come in, is it the same like horse racing? They do better in the yielding game, the
Yes,
heavy
of course.
game?
Well, I mean,
It levels
it's
them up.
simple. The ball becomes
Catching the
slippery.
ball.
Okay, so some teams play better than others.
Definitely, and it's not as easy to run in wet underfoot conditions and
I don't
everything.
ask it. Although that's a stupid question. Are they allowed to wear gloves?
No, it's
I
a
don't
man's
think they
sport,
are.
Terry.
No, are they allowed to wear gloves?
No,
No.
it's
No.
a man's
No.
sport.
Look a bit stupid if you come in looking like a batsman,
No,
won't you?
you wear them in. You wear 'em
In Aussie rules,
football.
they wear that.
that's
sport.
the-
Yeah, it's
fine,
like
yeah,
that. It's
like
not
a
a
thing.
not.
Or
But
remember-
they punch the ball, though, don't they, in Aussie rules?
Yes,
as well?
but they are allowed to. But it's only. It's got to have the finger hold.
and every other thing.
But that in England soccer is the only where they actually wear knitted gloves, isn't it? Keep their hands warm.
Yeah, well, they sell them in the stores.
Oh, but I'm just saying. So they, I don't know. In rugby, they can't do it. I
I
don't
just
think
wonder if they
No,
could.
remember Earl Rose
thought
used to
they-
wear
I thought
those
I've
gloves.
seen. I
Brent
thought I've
Russell
seen.
used to wear those. I mean, they look
I've seen it.
I
ridiculous.
thought I'd seen people wear gloves. I just wonder if it was legal or not.
Yes.
You know,
they
when
used
it's
to wear those
slippery, if
gloves
you've
with
got a
grip.
bit of...
I remember when I was in
That
primary
probably
school,
would.
everyone used to wear them.
I think we should
That
find that
probably
out.
would.
I think we should find that out.
My guess is that you are probably allowed to wear gloves.
Really?
What sort of underwear, Terry? If you're going now on a fashion thing.
Well, it's not a fashion thing. It's just that you can
Can I
catch
ask
the
you,
ball.
when you played, did you wear a jock strap or bathers?
I
Swimsuit?
wore Booth.
Booth. What's
Both.
Booth? A both.
Booth, both.
That's it's an interesting question because in my day, you
Do I really want to hear the rest of the
well, I'm
story?
just putting it out there.
Did
Was
you wear
it,
a box when you batted?
sure.
And when you started, did you used
Did
to
you?
swap boxes with the guy coming in
coming
and
in
out?
and
Under,
That's right, yeah.
under 12s
Yes,
and under 10s.
exactly,
we did.
yeah,
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 yeah.
and
School,
everything.
our school was 4. We only had
Yeah,
one.
we had to do the same thing.
Yeah,
It was
no,
a lot
shame.
of fun. You used to pee in the box just as you went out.
Exactly.
Then give it to the next
Did you
guy.
ever get hit in the box?
I've just looked it up on Google now.
Yeah.
You are allowed to wear gloves, but without padding.
Without padding?
Yes, without padding.
Because I seem to funny enough recall
I
Sonny Bill
thought I'd
Williams
seen...
wearing gloves.
I thought
once,
so
you know.
half
That was
gloves,
when
you
he
know.
wasn't boxing.
Yeah,
he fought
that's true.
Butterbean.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's out,
exactly.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's out.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's a
silly.
pity.
Silly
yeah, wasn't
tackle.
it? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so it's Lions for you.
No,
I mean,
it
sorry,
isn't the
New
Lions.
Zealand.
No.
New Zealand.
It's New Zealand for me to win it, and you'll see my best bet later. But that 11.5 is an excellent spread. It's going to be tighter than people think. It's going to be the match of the definitely of the year, and you've just got to watch it and have a bet.
Probably
with
the
WSB.
match of the decade.
Well, it's certainly going to be the biggest rugby match between the last World Cup final and the next one. There's no doubt about that. And you have to bet. You can bet in running. You can bet on a million things. A drop kick to be the first scoring player, 33-1.
Yeah.
You can bet on absolutely
Can you bet on the
everything
team to
with
win the toss?
WSB. That you can in cricket.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, in cricket.
Most
you
ridiculous.
jump
They
on
should
a-
have. They should have that bet. The first one to kick it into touch. That's in football was brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Made an absolute fortune.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell everyone they're
Of course
listening.
we did it. But it was, the bets came out early doors.
Yeah.
The first
I
team
can just
to
see
kick it
Sky
into
News,
touch.
this clip going on Sky News right now.
Yeah.
But you guys.
So
could-
what
you
they
ca-
did,
Everything
I
you
was
say
very
can and will
sharp.
be
You see,
used
there's two
against you.
things when you toss the coin, right? If you win it, you get a choice of either taking the ball or taking the ends you kick,
Right.
So I couldn't lose because the other geezers were so thick. So they would toss up. They used to take. We'll kick that way. So I'd get the ball anyhow. And if I won the toss, I'd choose the ball. So as soon as they rolled it back to me, I'll kick it straight in the touch and we made a fortune.
You're
Of course we did. They stopped it after that.
Did you really do that?
Yeah, of course.
What odds would you get for that?
I forget what
Probably nice,
wasn't
wasn't it?
used. Yeah, that's right.
What,
yeah.
a lot of money or something?
Yeah, not a bad bet if you
Not
know
a bad
those
bet if you
kind
know
of
it's
things.
going to be booted in the stand the first
Would you all rally round all for
Yeah,
the
get
Tommy
round, I'll go,
and get
yeah,
someone to
I
go
did
have a
that.
punt on?
There's no chance you could get a start for Southampton next season. We won't get out of it forever, right?
Okay, well, we're going to come back with Super Rugby after the race, but before we take the race, we've got to get a tip for the race, Dom. So we're taking 2 races during the show. I'm going to ask you for your double, but before we get into which one you like, well, which horses you like, which one are you more confident with, the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay.
The second one, I think the guys can lump on. What I would do, I think they should take a small double. The first one onto the second one.
Yes.
And
And
obviously,
then New Zealand onto the second one.
correct, yeah.
Yes.
But I'm tipping a local bet with Gary as well.
Yeah. This isn't a bet. The local bet has to be, the other bet has to be,
Correct.
excuse me, a local horse. This is the other special applies
The
to this one.
promotions with the local.
They got more specials at WSB.
And if it doesn't run in the first what, we get our money back.
That's for the Australian racing.
Yeah.
Does it apply
First
with
four.
the?
First 4.
First
It
4,
applies
yeah.
with this race that's coming up now as well.
Yeah, no, we know about that. But the horse that we're taking our joint bet with is my horse is in race 1 at Turfentine today, Vaquera. Vaquera last time came out over 1,200 metres, drawn 11 out of 12, inside track at Turfentine, ran on strong. There's by Silvano. This time over a mile. I think the guys can have a nice
Who
bet.
trains that? And
Robbie Sage and Gunter Roggeman.
Oh, good, a good combination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the strike
golfer.
rate's very good.
And then Flemington race 7.
Yeah.
What have you got for us? I'm going to come back with race 8 before we get to race 8
Okay.
because that's the one that you're confident in. So we can take New Zealand race 8 and also Vaquera. But what about Flemington race 7?
Flemington race 7, I like a horse called Petrology. Ridden by Petrology.
The wrong slide.
It's just the right
Oh, well, it's obviously a big price. Yes,
It's
tell
a
us
big
why.
price. Is
Yeah.
it coming up?
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Why do you like
There
it?
we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
12
There we
to
go.
1.
I'm putting a bit of value here.
Yes.
The guys can take an each way bet.
Or a place.
Or a place. And remember,
42 to 25.
if the guys are just taking a place bet and it runs unplaced, they get their Tom back. So it's a no-brainer.
Sure.
And look at the price, 12 to 1.
Yeah.
I went for a bit of value this week, and I think the guy, if this one wins, take a small double onto the next one.
Yes.
I think World Sports won't sponsor us anymore.
Okay, well, just quickly, you can give us your reasons why before we get there. What is your one on the next one?
I watched it on this Petrology. I watched its barrier trials in its last 2 barrier trials. It put up very good barrier trials.
And what's the name of the one in race 8?
Ability.
Ability.
Yeah.
Petrology Ability.
Yeah. Petrology, the first in race 7, Ability in race 8. Ability.
You can tell us why before race 8, because we've got to have a
Okay.
reason for you to stay here for another
Okay.
half an hour.
So
goodness.
your bet is you've taken All Blacks on the spread.
No.
Oh, no,
My
get it
best
right,
bet
Lloyd,
later.
get
You'll
it
see
right.
later. We don't
Listen.
have to do it now because it's only on to...
The South African race.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
See. Okay. I was just trying to.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Petrology Ability, Petrology a place now, and then we'll wait for Ability a bit later on. We'll find out why Dom likes it. So we're going to go and join up with that race at Flemington. We're shouting up a 12 to 1 shot. Can you believe it? We're all going to get on World Sports Betting right now.
To your line of thinking, starting to settle?
Yeah, certainly from one of the gate one. He'll be able to use that and put himself in a lovely spot. I think it's going to be a pretty torridly run race, so that's going to be the question as to what can stand up over the mile, because I think it's going to be a pretty tough run mile.
Okay, for you to win your favourite bottle of red wine, which horse would you like to have it on?
Look, I'm leaning Loyalty Man myself, but and I know Anthony was leaning Despair. That means straight the other horse is going to win, strike force. So, but look, there's not much between them. They're all good chances. But if I had to lean one way, it'd be Loyalty Man if he can just iron up those little chinks in his armour.
And that'll be the perfect start for a nice night for you tonight. I think you've got plans to be watching the All Blacks.
I certainly have. I think they can win without me. I think.
I reckon they'll win everywhere. Well done, mate. Hey, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
He does that. The All Blacks do not need Mike at all, because they are a freak show, one of the great sporting teams around the world.
No doubt Mike Moroney, one of the Kiwis, as they will tell you, at some stage has been an All Black trialer. Didn't quite get to pull on the All Black jersey, but loves his international rugby, does Mike. And when Murray Baker and him are over, or when Murray Baker's over here and he's travelling with horses at Flemington, Wayne Hawkes likes nothing more than hearing about the All Blacks in the middle box at Flemington.
He absolutely loves it. And you note that I wasn't asking who he's going to have his last on in regards to his picking his three. I just mentioned the red wine, and I know that means a lot more to him than his last.
It's more likely to be a Pinot than anything else, Richo.
I would have thought so. Now, Mike Moroney's won the race back in 1997 with Happy Star, with Greg Childs in the saddle. He won it the following year with Ben's Rocket, with Greg Childs in the saddle, and then was also able to train later on with the Big Ask in 2002 with Jason Patton. So a bit of a cheerio to Jay Patton, who was able to win for Mike Moroney. That was the last win in the race for Mike, but he's got three key chances. A last look at the market. Amavasio is way out to $7.50 now. $7 for Sahitsi. Sovereign Nation into $6. $8 Count Da Vinci. Loyalty Man at $9. Amavasio out to $8. It is $6 the field here. And our favourite is Sovereign Nation for the Winter Championship final. First conducted in 1980. Always a feature of the winter months here at Flemington as we join Matt Hill.
Typhoon Jolie coming in, expecting to go right up near the front early. Typhoon Jolie, we were told that on Thursday. Richo, thank you, getting set well here. Now, Typhoon Jolie is in the stalls with also Petrology. Count Da Vinci now joins them. Anthony Darmanin in the saddle. So we await on 5 of them. Sovereign Nation, Cosmic Lights, Mahaney. Also Victory Downs and Shahitsi. Looks as though one of the other runners is quite fractious in the stalls. Might even be Amavasio. Now Mahaney goes in. Was Mahaney a winner here on Oaks Day last year? Sovereign Nation joins the line. Dwayne Dunn won this race last year, Damien Oliver the year before. Final tote figures, Amavasio 540, Sovereign Nation 660, then $8 Count Da Vinci, Shahitsi $8.60. Last one to move up is Shahitsi for the running of the Winter Championship final. Shahitsi takes the outside stall, the Tasmanian, and the field is locked away, ready for the Winter Championship final. 1600. Bit of gear just loose apparently. Attendants go scampering after it. It may have even fallen out the front. Strike Force is a little bit edgy in barrier 1. The field is now set. All clear given. And they're racing. Strike Force on the inside beat them out with Count Da Vinci and Mahaney. Typhoon Jolly's also forcing up. Victory Downs to 5th from Shahitsi progressing forward. And then came Loyalty Man, Rhythm to Spare. Two lengths Amavasio, Cosmic Light, Sovereign Nation, and Petrology is last of all. Towards the side of the course now, 1100 metres out, and it's Typhoon Jolly, a clear leader. By a length to in second place, Mahaney. They were followed by Shahitsi out deeper on the track from Strike Force and Count Da Vinci. A length and a half away next in the field is Loyalty Man, Victory Downs, Rhythm to Spare, Cosmic Light, Sovereign Nation is well back at this stage, would spot the speed about 7. They were followed by Amavasio, and Petrology is last of all. Heading towards the 800 marker, Typhoon Jolly, 3/4 of a length, Mahaney. A half length, Shahitsi, third out, 3 deep, a length and a quarter, Strike Force poised the inside. They were followed by Count Da Vinci, who's one off the fence. Out deeper is Loyalty Man. Cosmic Lights is getting a wriggle on out deeper with Rhythm to Spare. Then Victory Downs, Amavasio, Petrology and Sovereign Nation on the inside is last. Into the straight 450 out, it's Mahaney up to Typhoon Jolly. Strike Force goes back to the inside. Shahitsi is there. Then Count Da Vinci needing a run. Rhythm to Spare down the outer with Cosmic Lights. Loyalty Man. Amavasio's trying to weave through, and Petrology's the widest as they reach the 200. Sovereign Nation and Shahitsi together, followed by Amavasio getting out with Petrology. Sovereign Nation just in front. Shahitsi coming at it. Shahitsi, Sovereign Nation. Amavasio diving. Shahitsi, a Winter Star, beats Amavasio and Sovereign Nation in a great finish. Then a real wall for 4th place. Loyalty Man, Rhythm to Spare, Count Da Vinci all there. Cosmic Lights and Victory Downs not far away. Further back, Mahaney, Strike Force, Typhoon Jolly.
Right, so here we go. Dom, move your coffee away. And, well, what did you think of that ride, Dom?
Yeah, if I was still training Alistair, that jockey would have ran with his saddle when he got off my horse.
8 wide, got a good break.
You know
yes.
what, drawn 3.
Yes.
It's always a good thing going into a race like that with a tight bend. Jumps well, pulls also at the last. Pathetic ride. I will not follow Corey Parrish again.
Corey Parrish is his name.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
so don't let him come to the south of Joburg. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think I might just visit him in Flemington. I'll go for a trip to Australia.
Well, you're never on the cards for the trip to the Melbourne Cup, unfortunately. But, yeah, there might be a lot more to come from world sports betting in the next few weeks. As we're going to continue now with rugby, because there are 3 Super Rugby games to look forward to this weekend. The first game has been between the Waratahs and the Jaguares. Gary, what do you think? Waratahs and the Jaguares in Sydney later today. 1-5 the Waratahs, would you be climbing in?
Definitely not.
I don't think so.
Definitely not. I just don't trust that Australian side. I mean, the Argentinian side. Sorry. No, that was a slip. I just think that they're a better side than what they've shown. And I still think they're going to throw a shock in here somewhere, you know what I mean? And the Waratahs, yeah, they haven't impressed me that much. I wouldn't take 1-5 the Waratahs.
Rod, as an Australian, how impressed have you been with any Australians?
Well, I haven't. You know, I mean, the Reds got up to beat the Brumbies in the last kick yesterday, and the Brumbies meant to be the best side in Australia. And if any hope of having an upset in the playoffs, they were mid of the side. Started off the season well and poor. Waratahs, on paper, we say all the time, have probably got more than half of the Australian side in there, which is nothing to brag about, is it? They're going to, I tell you what, if they beat... This is a test today because they're actually playing the Argentine side just about, isn't it?
Yeah, almost.
So for them, they have to get a bit of confidence to win it. I think maybe Jaguares have been very disappointing this year, haven't they? I mean, the Kings went there, beat them as well. And
yep.
Oh, can you believe?
So,
do you even know who the Kings are?
Of course I know. I know they're not in the Super next time anyhow.
No, they're gone.
I know they've gone to the other mob.
What other mob?
In Europe and joining that, what do they call that new league they're doing?
Well, it's the Pro 14.
Pro 14. What a load of rubbish that is.
Sure. Anyway, I'm going to go with the Waratahs there, but I don't think I put them in my best bets, but I think maybe at home and whatever. I mean, Australian rugby at the moment, where do you think they're going to finish in the Rugby Championship and the way they've been playing?
All right, give our answer in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Fourth.
Lost.
No.
Fourth.
I think they'll finish third. Now, we've got a guy who works here called Matthew Britton, and he's very bullish about everything that South Africa does. If it's marbles, ping pong, you know, he tries to find where they win something. He hasn't done
like
it yet.
Barney. Barney's the same thing, right?
Is it? Yeah.
Barney.
He lets me know.
He must be livid.
Hey?
Barney.
Yeah.
Oh, not a chance.
Everything they win. If he hasn't found anything they've won for a while, he's still looking it up. But I think if the Springboks lose to Australia in this tournament coming up, then you actually know where they are. Because he asked me, he said, where do you think South Africa are now? We just won 3-0. I said, well, to be fair, I really can't rate them yet because they haven't played anybody. And then I think after the Rugby Championship, you'll know where they sit at the moment. I don't know if that's an unfair comment.
No, fair enough.
Okay.
You know, mark them against people that can play rugby, right? This French side that came here never came to win, right?
Weren't interested, were they?
You know,
not
at all.
interested.
No.
Anyway,
So I enjoyed the South African sun, the holiday.
Yeah.
But they can only win, Gary, so...
You can't take anything away from the Springboks, but let's not blow their trumpets too loud.
Well, I tell you, Alistair's blowing a little trumpet, but I'll tell you why. Well, because this time last year, his head was on the chopping block, wasn't it? So good luck to him. I mean, good luck to him.
Oh, that Alistair. I thought you were talking about
this Alistair.
Now I've seen his trumpet.
Need a magnifying glass.
I was disappointed. I thought, geez, where did that come from?
It would have been the first time I heard you say something nice about Alistair.
Hold on, not so nice. Alistair blows trumpets.
Well, that's exactly the point. It's the first time Rod's ever said something nice about
There you go. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I think my opinion is I think maybe the Waratahs. Look, they can't make the finals. They're out of it. Whatever. What is the motivation? I think the Checkers got to be getting in their ear and saying, "Hey, boys, you know, what is it? 6 weeks or 2 months' time? We've got the Rugby Championship. We've got to start getting because they're embarrassment at the moment. Let's be honest.
They are.
They are. Gary, to be fair, they've never been in the league of Springboks or the All Blacks. Let's be fair of that. But I mean, at the moment, the Springboks are rated. They've gone from 7 probably to 5 or something. I haven't looked at the latest ratings, but Australia just looking very poor.
They lost to Scotland.
Correct.
Yeah.
With the Scottish best playing for the British Lions, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So.
Very disappointing.
100% right. No, they're very poor.
Right, what about the next game? We're off to Pretoria for the Bulls and the Kings. And, well, unfortunately, the Kings have lost their Super Rugby status, but they've had a good year, Rod, from your old neck of the woods.
Well, you know, the thing that concerns me with this bet, and I've actually gone with the Bulls here because they're playing at home, but they went with their, what's this new competition they got, where they got beat by the Lions, an absolute hiding 2 weeks ago.
Challenge.
Then they go down to the Sharks last week and beat the Sharks. So
Beat
where
them
do
properly.
Hey?
Beat them properly.
Yeah, exactly. So
Gary, did you manage to watch that game on any streaming? No, you weren't able to. You could find teletrack.com. You could find all the races from Kenilworth, Turffontein and Greyville on your device, but you couldn't watch the Bulls and the Sharks.
No, I couldn't watch the Bulls and the Sharks, you know. That's the truth. But, you know, I've also got a feeling in this game, it is part of my double with Dom's horse there later on. That's a Bulls outright. Because I don't think the Bulls will lose at Loftus to the Kings. I just don't think that's in their psyche. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll step up today, the Bulls. And I don't care what anybody says. The Kings have to be feeling a little bit dejected, you know?
Sure.
They've done much better than anybody thought they could do. They've won games at home and away, and they've really performed and played decent rugby. Then they've beaten good rugby sides.
For a team that
played a
all
good
South
style.
Africans hated a year ago, now all of a sudden all South Africans are saying, well, actually...
I don't hate them.
No, but I mean, there was always... there was a cloud of the way they got into Super Rugby.
No,
why
that's not
did
nice.
you hate them?
No, I didn't hate them. I just thought they were out.
Why
To be
did
honest,
you,
a
why
year
did you
ago... I
say
thought-
that? Why would you say?
Because a lot of South African sports supporters, as you normally say, have opinions, wild opinions.
No, well, that's everyone's entitled opinion, but I've never heard anyone's... So have you ever met any of the players from the Kings?
No.
How could you hate them then?
Actually, I'm trying to think. I've met Waylon Murray.
There you go.
Yes.
Do you hate him?
Love him.
Well, why did you...
West
Are
Hall
they going to get any compensation for being booted out?
Well, the Cheetahs, I saw yesterday a little headline before I lost my iPad in Durban. It said there that they had done a settlement out of court with the South African Rugby Union. So there obviously is financial compensation to these sides. Just want to say something, and this is for people that battle in all types of sports, right, or whatever it is. 3 years ago, the Kings and the Lions were fighting to see who lost their position in Super Rugby.
Yes.
And to me, they both stand out as two super teams in the competition for different reasons. But they both win a lot of games. One's got a chance of winning the tournament. The other one's gone from the worst side to probably midfield and their ability.
So the most
Good luck
hated
to both
sides
of
are
them.
midfield as well.
No, they're not hated. They're loved by everybody. Funny enough, people who say the Cheetahs were loved by everybody.
They were
right?
everyone's second side.
Second
weren't
side,
they?
yeah, exactly. No, yeah. But I think that unfortunately, I think that the Kings will get beaten quite
I don't want to be
handsomely.
associated with hate speech. I really,
That's really bad.
I don't know where it comes from.
Especially the Eastern Cape, you know what I mean? Which is
I've lived there for 25
years.
years. They eventually got me out, but I enjoyed it while I was there.
They released you.
Terry, who do you support?
I don't support anybody, mate.
You're just a good sportsman who enjoys the game.
Not really.
Right, on to the last game of the Super Rugby weekend. It's the Stormers against the Sunwolves. Dom, who do you think is going to win this one?
The Stormers.
That's what was that? Was that a record, by the way?
90 odd
Let me tell you
No.
what I used to
Missed it
do.
by 2 points, I believe.
Was it?
When Gary was a client of mine years ago when I used to train, by the way, I won him his first Group 1.
That's true.
Right,
Group
and
one?
first Group 2.
What was that?
That's not true.
And first Group 3.
No, Group 3 was Michael. Michael, as he won me my first Group 3, you have to give him
But
credit.
when we used to have bets together, and I used to get the horse racing side of it, and we used to have a double, he's top class with sports. So if you want to know anything about rugby, cricket, whatnot, even basketball, he'll tell you something.
What do you
about
want from Gary after the show? There's
No, he's already
something-
got it. That's what I'm trying to work out. I'm in trouble now.
I was sitting in the car park waiting for him.
SMSs I got. I wish I lost my cell phone order yesterday. Don't forget my this, don't forget that. Yeah, I have to. No, but I mean,
Anyway.
the truth is that I think that last week's performance, I never saw it.
Yeah.
But it's embarrassing to get beaten by 90 points,
Absolutely.
whoever
That's
you are, you know what I'm
ridiculous.
saying? And, you know, have they got the guts and that to bounce back and the ability to bounce back?
Will
I'm
they
not
be
so sure.
included next year as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, where does that
Were they
work
the
out?
best Japanese side in the competition?
Only one.
Terry, have you ever seen a Sunwolf before?
No. No. Have you?
No, never. It's a bit like Bigfoot. Fictional.
That's what
Who? Rod? Bigfoot. Still got him on.
Huge.
Hey,
Look at
matey.
Look at
All right. Brahmy boy. Well,
Lives in there, did he?
Yeah, everybody laughs. Rod's
Terry,
gonna
don't
get
worry, I'm going to phone Bram after the show.
What's his name?
Bram.
Get one for me as well.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
size
gonna-
8.
You've got no
One.
chance.
Hey,
You want one.
yeah, well, why not?
One
Get
shoe.
one or
I'll tell
two.
you something. This is brilliant. In Italy, where I was now, sorry to change the subject, right? They must have.
I don't want to hear your stories
They
from
must
Italy
have
anymore.
40 guys in a one road, right, in Capri,
Selling
that make
shoes.
shoes while you wait.
Really?
Absolutely brilliant. Women's sandals. I'm going to wear the shoes that he made for me next week.
bet
right?
that had you in
I would have worn
stitches.
them today, but I couldn't get from the stairs down. They're so uncomfortable. You know?
Are these imported?
These came from, yeah. No, yeah, I think you can get them in 2018. But but you know, bro, I'm never going to give you shoes.
I bought the shoes.
You'll get. You
You
deserve.
never, you
You're a
gave them to
supporter.
you.
You're a
You wouldn't
supporter.
buy
You
them.
deserve.
Why wouldn't I buy them?
What have you spilt on them?
Look at the state of them there.
Little bit of-
Coffee,
It's not
beer,
good.
I tell you what,
wine.
you don't need to ask Brom for shoes. You need to ask
Do
him
you
for
wear
someone to
those
look
in the
after your
bush when
shoes.
you go?
Absolutely. I'm in the bush in 2 weeks' time.
It's a
You know,
urinal.
you're in the
That's where
bush
it comes
every.
from.
I know that. But
Definitely. There, of course, those marks are from a urinal. You can see.
No,
God.
no.
He's short of a length. Pitch it up there, right? Pitch it up.
Yeah, I wasn't tapping on the shoe, Gary.
looks like pea soup.
No. Bit of red wine. That was a bit of red wine.
But a red on your shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Just put it in your
Just
mouth.
missed.
yeah. Well, late in the day, mate.
No, but you've done well for Brom. He's definitely going to give you a new shoe. Terry, you got no.
Again.
What colours are Brom's racehorses running? Then you're going to get a
Everyone
pair of
knows.
shoes.
Look at your left shoe.
Which one's left?
A good, that one. Not pretty. Yeah, what colour is Brom's horses running?
Come on, Terry. Everyone else
Green, I
knows
would
it.
have thought.
There we go.
Not bad.
Not far off.
Old
Day
Black
glow.
Jersey.
Green is sort of.
I know you're colourblind.
I am.
Yes. All right, on to cricket we
Yeah,
go, and of course
sure.
it's the first test out
Here we
at
go.
Lord's between England and South Africa. Rod, what has your opinion
Never
been
missed
thus
a ball.
far?
Been a very good test match, hasn't it? It's been a bit of ebb and flow. Look, with South Africa bowling on that wicket, and we all listened, we all heard, and there was a bit of a tinge of green, but, you know, that Philander, he really is very much like Terry Alden. I think we picked that about a couple of months ago. He bowls, he makes you play, and he did a great job. I think South Africa would have been kicking themselves a little bit, and I tell you why. Obviously, 80 for 4, you would obviously like to knock them over. But if you look at the balances of the side, England have a far better balanced side. Their bowlers don't have to bowl as much. They've got 2 quality spinners and 4 seamers. Where South Africa, they took to their spinner, an English batsman, and put him out of the attack, and they couldn't bowl him again, wasn't it? They really went after him. Yeah.
There are too many passengers in that South African side right now, you know. That's the truth, I believe, you know. I watched a hell of a lot of this test match, and there are too many cricketers that aren't real international standard. And then you obviously got your tote favourite, Duminy, coming at number 4.
He did well again.
He's just not good enough to be playing in that league.
Well, before you carry on, Rod, I actually want to know how you know all of this, because a video has been leaked to us. So let's actually find out what that's all about. Apparently this was last night at about 6 p.m.
Sean.
Oh, look at the state of him.
I was tired.
You're studying the cricket.
Tired of what?
So how do you know what's happened? I mean, you haven't watched anything.
I had a few Katimbas last night. Can you believe that? Felt like that.
That's brilliant.
Sean, that's it. There's no Christmas.
No, Sean's gone.
There's no Christmas presents, nothing. I was going to pay for a trip to go to the game park. That's gone. I was a bit tired last night, yeah. But I do wake up every now and then. I have a little snooze, 20 minutes.
I never missed a ball. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's double your age.
Some of those no balls, though, I mean,
I know, absolutely.
about that far.
I know.
It's for a spinner to miss it.
And the spinner. I mean, that was diabolical.
But I mean,
to be honest with you.
But
I still think it's a decent contest.
Well,
I do.
But Terry, the wicket flattened out. They only got 12 overs to the second new ball now, so
If
that's going to be
England
critical.
can't swing the ball,
well,
they're just very ordinary. I'm telling
was
you now.
reversing
I'm going to go. I'll go as
Little
far as
bit.
this. I'm going to
Little
say
bit.
something. I'm going to have a big comment against you there. I'm going to say that England will win this Test match by more than 200 runs.
Really?
More than
That's
200,
all.
but I think they'll win it well.
My tip is more than 200.
Really?
Yeah.
The odds must be big on that.
You know, I just think that they're going to lead by 150, 160. And I wouldn't want to bet last on this wicket. You could see even on day one when it was green, there were a few that...
Well, it's
stayed
starting
low.
to take spin as
gonna
well. I
spin
mean,
up
you
there.
saw that. We
can
got
I ask
2.
you guys, why would you send in Rubada last night when you're already down? Why would you not send de Kock in? What? You send in a night, what, you're protecting a number 7.
What happened?
Why is he number 7?
Why is he?
Let me ask you a question. To go back to that, and I agree with you, Aaron.
Yeah.
What happens if Rabada goes early, which could have happened? Do you send in another night watchman?
Well,
He
you
could have
end
been
up sending
9
in
down.
de Kock at 11.
Anyhow,
Exactly.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
I didn't understand that move. You're protecting a number 7. And he's the guy. Look, the difference between the two sides is you saw that the bowling attack, they did well early on, and they did. They bowled incredibly well.
Philander's
But
always
they
going to be
couldn't knock
effective.
them
for
over,
stuff.
and even Jimmy Anderson hit him for 6, and they made 50 in the last wicket. So
Yeah.
if you go down through it, the game's going to be won and lost. And they scored,
What was
Terry,
the end score?
458.
No, Said that.
214
mention
for
who
5.
you
214 for 5.
Yeah.
So they got another one. I missed that.
But the trouble is they scored at 4.3 runs and over. So they've sped this game up by a whole session already. So there's 3 days of the game to go. And if they get knocked over before lunch, which could happen with the second new ball coming, they could be, like Gary said, 120 shy. And the game's going to be very hard for them there. And the wicket's drying out and it's going to take a hell of a lot of turn, what you guys were saying.
I mean, Brule got 57. He hasn't got a 50 for 4 years.
Well, it was the first time I saw him yesterday, Terry, take on the short ball because he went through a patch in his career, he got hit and he didn't enjoy it, and yesterday he took it on. But it's a different story when you've got another bowler in there. The bowlers were tired by then. So it's not as easy to bowl the bouncer, the wicket's slower, whatever, and the ball's soft. So he actually could dominate because he wasn't actually fearing them.
One thing I want to ask you, and this is not a stick away, Rod. Did you ever swear when you played cricket? Be honest. I'm sure you did.
Of course he did.
Yes. Now, what about the suspension for Rabada for the next test?
Well,
because he's sworn at.
I didn't see this.
He's sworn at Ben Stokes when he got him out, and he's been suspended for the next test.
So, is that official?
Yeah, look, he wasn't having his best day of all time.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
Oh.
So he wasn't having his best day of all time, which happens. You can never be on top of
He
your
had a
game.
shocker.
Yeah, but then he got out Stokes, excited, big wicket, big name player, probably the best all-rounder in the world at the moment.
What did
Is
he
that
say,
unfair?
off?
Well, he probably said to him, go and get a ham sandwich. I don't know what he said. I don't know. But he did swear, okay? So, but I think it's wrong. You know, the microphones, and I understand that, and you've got kids watching, I understand all that.
Yeah,
but
it's a bit harsh.
But in your day, Terry, in my day, gee, you went out
Yeah,
and you told the guy, you know, you're...
Absolutely.
The opposition he played against wishes he swore at them. He kicked them all to pieces.
Yeah.
Swear at the referee those days.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He used to laugh.
Did he?
Just take your name, send you off.
I mean, you've sworn at jockeys in your time, haven't you?
Yeah, many.
I bet you've dragged a few out of the saddle.
On one particular occasion, I had an owner chasing a jockey in the parade ring.
Quite
Not
right.
this one.
No.
I wasn't the jockey that day. I was stood down.
Was that Gary?
He was quite a good.
I chased. I'll tell you when I went mad at the course. When our horse was objected against. Remember, we had Living the Dream.
Yes.
It got objected against by the horse that ran fourth because we bumped it at the 800. You know what I mean? And then the staff took the race away. Oh, God. I remember that. But I just look, nobody's condoning swearing, and none of us are saying that kids should go out in there and swear. They shouldn't. They should play hard and fair. But at the end of the day, there's a little bit too much microscopic focus on sportsmen today.
Funny enough, I thought about that.
Unfair,
I was watching the golf.
I agree.
You know?
And I forget who it was. Obviously played a bad shot. And you could see and hear him swear. And the commentator said, he'll be in trouble, he'll be fined for that now. Yeah. So it just shows it's not just cricket.
No, but, you know, when you're hot,
I agree with you.
You know,
it's an emotion. I mean, it's an emotion. I mean, if you look at this thing they're doing with the soccer now, you know, making these decisions, somebody sat in a room, blah, 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 taking all the... You don't know if you scored a goal anymore.
Exactly.
Because you've got to wait until they've had a look at the... I mean, taking all the emotion out of the game. That was absolutely diabolical in the Confederations Cup.
So you're not a fan of video technology?
I'm not. I never have been. And I don't believe it should come in. It's only because of the money in the game.
Wasn't a jockey fined the other day for swearing? In Hong Kong?
Oh, yeah, Zach Purton. True story, Zach Purton. I was told the story. He had a winner in Hong Kong. You know, they have the sash girls and they normally pose for the cameras and all that. And he was taking his time to go back to the winner's enclosure. So the staff sent one of the runners, get Purton, hurry up for the next race. So, you know, lady comes up to him and says, please hurry up back to the jockey room. So he says, no, you know, I'm talking to the connections. Please, Mr. Purton, please rush back to the jockey room. And microphones, live, everything, told her in no uncertain terms what to do with herself. 100,000 Hong Kong dollars.
Wow, which is 150, I think, or 200, somewhere there.
1,000 rand.
Yeah.
200,000 rand.
It's stronger than our rand, definitely.
I think it's 2 to 1 now.
I just think, Gary, Terry's 100% right. You know, we used to play, we used to inquire about family members, all sorts of things. No, you used to have a chat and how's your family and all that sort of thing. But after the game, you sat and had a beer with them,
100%.
all over, you played it hard and no emotion afterwards. Some of the guys used to say, but you had a gut, mate. We're finished now. We'll carry on tomorrow and we'll have another crack.
I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
I mean, I obviously don't know the man, but I'm pretty sure Ben Stokes never knocked on the match referee's door afterwards and said...
I was going to ask that question.
Yes.
Do you think Stokes would have laid the charge?
Not to
never.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's some clown sitting in a box that decides that, you know, he should get a fine.
No, they've got their rules, Gary, and obviously the players are all got the rules and it's sent to them. Have to sign the contract that they break this sort of thing, this is going to happen. But it just takes it away from the game. It's like Mary.
I was watching Everton and Arsenal from 97, 98 on the box. The tackles that were flying and the emotion and, you know, it was up and down. It was you know, the contest was brilliant.
Is it
brilliant?
You're paying 70 million or 90 million pounds for a
Exactly
player.
right.
They're saying you can't hurt him, you can't touch him, leave him alone.
Absolutely. It's all money. As simple
That's all
as
it
that.
is.
It's taking over. Simple as that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're all in consensus that England are going to win the first test out at Lords. There's
I'm not
a.
sure.
You're not sure.
I'm
Listen,
not.
the guy who did the weather forecast a week ago said it's going to lose. What did we say last week on the show? You weren't here, Gary. I think Liam said 3 of the days will be washed out.
Yes, that's why he's not on the show today.
But
is he got that
you've got to be
wrong.
careful about that because there was some huge storms.
Where?
In England.
Yeah, we know that. When are they
once
coming?
that temperature gets to 30, I can promise you they're going to be the
You know,
biggest storms ever.
For 5 days while we were there, my wife and I threatened to walk right through the whole of Hyde Park.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We were going to walk through the whole thing. And the day we decided to do it,
Porter Road.
you can't believe it, after about a mile and a half,
It came
I've
down.
never seen a storm.
And you were deserted.
I've never seen a storm like this in my life, right? We were begging people for lifts. You
I saw
can't
Peter.
believe
I
it.
saw Peter
Pathetic.
Pan in a tent there in Hyde Park.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
Pan?
absolutely
Because of the
brilliant.
rain, he went into the tent.
No, we just got in the
Oh,
tent. And,
Peter
Charles,
Pan
and
after
Prince
weather.
Charles pitched up as well.
Who did?
Prince Charles pitched up.
Oh,
He was
really,
just over there. It was a pantomime thing, but it was in a tent. Absolutely brilliant. That was in Hyde Park.
You
Brilliant.
were making a joke. That was a true
No,
story.
no, it's a true story.
Yeah, Women's World Cup is on the go at the
Yes.
moment.
Oh,
There we
would
go.
be.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant.
They could improve that.
Don't be sarcastic. You know how much these girls have improved. Brilliant. I've enjoyed watching it.
They're getting paid 15 rand a day now.
Nearly as much as those that work across the road in
Well, it's
Australia.
like Australian cricket. They're going nowhere, getting paid nothing. But I tell you what, I watched the highlights of the England-South Africa game.
They got 300 odd, didn't they?
Well, they got 373,
7,000 runs in the
and then
game.
2 of the girls, one got 148 and 147. Beaumont and what's the other one?
Sarah Taylor.
Taylor. Unbelievable shots they're playing, really good. I mean, the women's game, obviously the bowling is a little bit, if there's any weakness to the cricket. What?
Any weakness, they can hardly get it down the other end. Jeez. And how far are the boundaries brought in?
No!
Yeah, they are.
It's the size of the MCG.
Rubbish.
No, nothing's the size of that. But it's good cricket. It really was good cricket. And then South Africa weren't embarrassed. They made 305. A really good cricket game to watch. I mean, the girls are really improved. There's a couple in there like the West Indies and that who got bowled out for 48, which obviously... But remember Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, when they first came in years ago, they used to struggle a bit. So the girls are learning and their skills are improving. So good luck to them. I certainly enjoyed watching it on catch-up. I wouldn't watch the whole bloody thing, though. But 5 or 10 minutes was
Well,
good.
you can't make it through the whole bloody thing.
Well, exactly.
No, exactly.
That kid is in so much
Not
trouble.
as good as a wink.
That kid left the studio about a minute and a half ago.
And he hasn't gone
I've
home
seen a few
either.
women eat a few good balls.
No, very good. It was enjoyable. Australia and India are unbeaten. They've won all 4 games, and you explained to me England hadn't won all 4 because one was washed out.
Yes.
So they looked the top
Yeah,
two,
they've-
top 3 there who should fight it
They're
out.
definitely the
Yeah.
teams to beat. India are playing South Africa, I think, today, if I'm not mistaken. Right, on to EFC, and World Sports Betting are instrumental in EFC at the moment. They are sponsoring a number of fighters. Gary's done a lot of homework. I know you're a big fan of EFC. Where are we up to? 60-something? 61?
62?
62?
61 or 62, yeah. So the top one there, Lungu and Coxon, they are short, 1 to 5 and 4 to 10 or 5 to 10. I mean, the double probably comes to 7 or 8 to 10. But I don't think you'd have any problems with those two. I think they'll both win easily, you know.
Ilunga and Coxon, yeah. So Coxon 14. I hope he
40-10.
doesn't hurt his Coxon.
Yeah.
So there's Coxon. Ilungu's not up there yet. He's come up now.
Well, there are a few short prices there as well. So for those that actually know what's going on, don't be afraid to throw them in.
4 to
It's all
10,
to
4
come.
to 10.
1 to 6 is...
How
1
many
to
events?
6.
How many events on the night, Gary? There's plenty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're only 3 rounds unless it's a championship.
Oh,
I
it's
see.
3 what?
Okay.
3-minute rounds?
I think they're 3 5-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't last as long as boxing
So
fights.
give us the winner, and then when I want to chat to you something about boxing with Pacquiao. What a bad sport.
Oh, yeah,
Sissy.
he got beaten by the Australian, right?
Exactly. I watched that
An
live.
absolute disgrace.
Was not.
But he won by an absolute mile.
Yeah, thank you.
I see that.
Thank
No,
you.
not your mob.
Who?
Horn, not him.
Who,
He
Pacquiao?
did you see the state of him afterwards, Horn? He got the biggest beating you've ever seen.
Crap. I watched that.
Have
I
you seen
watched
what's
that
happening?
live
Have you
yesterday
seen
morning.
what's happening?
Yeah, he's
They're
a
re-
crybaby. Now they're rejudging it.
They're
Yeah.
redoing the points there,
Yes.
and you're going to lose. I'll
Rubbish.
tell you that.
I
now.
watched it live, the whole, every second of it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Who's going to look like Pacquiao
he
after
threw
this?
Pacquiao threw twice as many punches
Yeah, but he's got
as
a
the
hit
other
him.
geezer.
Yeah, but you don't get a point if you miss.
how did he get that big
Because he
bruiser then?
headbutted him. He headbutted him.
He should have
Whenever
headbutted him.
rematch, yeah.
Jeez.
Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, we're going to run out of time because we need
a certainty.
Where's Tacky Town?
Bram needs to give away some more shoes. So let's have a look at the Tacky Town.
Bram.
Who did Arsenal just sign from Lyon for a club record £53 million?
Chanel. Because she smells very sweet.
Yeah. Good movie, that too. About her
Smells
life story.
great. Is it A. Alexander? How do you say his surname?
Yeah, Lazazetta.
Alexis Sanchez, or is it C. Coco Chanel? You know the drill. Please answer with your name and surname. Competition closes on Monday at 6 o'clock. SMS your answer to 44472. Terms and conditions apply. SMS costs 50 cents per entry. Standard rates apply. No free SMSs. Gary?
There's a woman, a good friend of mine who plays in all my poker tournaments, and Dr. Eben Lotrin.
Yeah.
His mother watches the show.
Oh.
And sometimes she has to phone him to get tips who the competition is, you know. She doesn't always get the answer out. So we're going to tell her this week, it's definitely not C.
No.
You know?
Yeah,
Not
good
Coco.
idea.
No.
So you've got a 50% chance now, Gary's poker friend. Right, on we go to the best bets, and we are going to add Dom's horse into the equation. So from my side, I'm going to go with New Zealand to beat the British and Irish Lions on the spread of plus
Quite right. I
11.5.
think you're right there.
Daniel Ricciardo to finish on the podium of the Austrian Grand Prix, another Australian, and then Chris Froome to win Le Tour de France.
Are you going to give him to win it?
Oh, he looks like he's too good already, right?
Is he?
Certainty.
Never miss.
No, can't.
Really?
Yeah. Gary?
Got the Bulls minus 11.5 at 9-10, and the All Blacks to lead at half-time and full-time, which is nearly 6-10 there.
Tell you what, the half-time price could actually be better than the full-time price. Rod?
There you go. Yeah, I'm going with New Zealand. I'm a big fan, like Gary, of New Zealand. I want to see them win it because I think they are the better side. I really do. I hope the conditions are great. Waratahs to beat the Jaguares. That's a bit of yeah. What do you mean? Yours didn't arrive last week, by the way.
Yeah, trotted up
They
again,
did not.
as usual.
You said Germany to win, to draw.
Zimbabwe to win more than 2.5 goals.
Why do you bother?
Well, there you are.
That's
Nothing much
that
about
is
it.
poor.
What competition is that, Terry?
The Casafa?
Okay, and then Dom, your parting gift is?
Okay.
And why?
Yeah, okay. Ability in race 8 at Flemington today. Good draw.
Yes.
The horse is in top form. Again, watch the trial barriers, and it's going to be hard to beat this one. I think the guys, they got their money back in the last race.
Yes.
This race, there's no seconds. I'm very confident with Ability today. I think it's going to win.
I take it Corey, whatever his name is, isn't riding it.
Nah, definitely not. This one's ridden by Dwayne Dunn.
Dwayne Dunn?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
All right, so that's pretty much it. So we got Gary's opinion, we got Dom's opinion, so we left with Ability and Vaquera. Of course, you can get on with our sponsors, World Sports
But
Betting.
remember, for the 20% bonus, it's
Yes.
the Queer and the Bulls off level.
Okay.
That's the one where you get your 20% bonus if that double arrives.
Can't
Take
miss.
it with WSB.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks very much to Gary and to Dom. Rod and Terry,
Thank you,
we'll
boys.
sort you out outside.
Thank you.
Yep. And thanks very much for watching. We're back again next week as World Sports Betting Morning Show continues. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Until next time, goodbye.